So last time out, I ranked the Forest home shirts from best to worst. I put them in a tier list as we're going to see here. This is what I thought, but please go watch that video for my individual thoughts on each shirt. Anyway, we're doing a similar thing today. There are less away shirts here than there were on the home shirts tier list, just because I think less exist in the first place. But there are some bangers in here. Just looking at this list now, there are some shirts that I really do like and some that they're not that great. Without further ado, let's stop the waffling. Let's just get into some shirt rankings. All these images were sourced from Kit Archive, by the way. So if there's any away shirts I've missed on there, it's because they weren't on Kit Archive. We're going to start off with the 1974-75 away shirt. Now, it is this, just a plain white shirt with a red Forest badge and a collar, really. That's all there is to say to it. It's a very basic shirt. It does look fairly clean, to be fair, but it is very basic. And yeah, it can't get any higher than just a C for me, because it's a very basic shirt, not much going on at all. For our first away shirt, what do you really expect though? And then we move swiftly forward to the 1975-76 shirt. Now this one, it's a little bit different. Umbro got involved with this one, but it's just a yellow shirt with a blue Forest badge, which very similar to the one I'm wearing right now, and actually a few of these shirts on this list. Yellow and blue seem to be our favoured away colours, but we've had many different colour schemes for our away shirts. This one again though, very plain, can only really mark it as C, can't go any higher, but it's not really a D or F tier shirt. Like, it doesn't look horrible, it does look okay, but yeah, it's just a bit of an L. And then we move on to the 1976-77 shirt. Now this one is actually quite a nice shirt, I can't lie. It's actually quite a nice shirt. I would not mind if we got like a modern remake of the design next season. I think it looks really nice. Obviously the picture and the quality of the picture is doing it a disservice. I imagine the yellow pops quite a bit more than it does in this image. If that is the case, it's going to look phenomenal. But yeah, I'm a fan. I do like the yellow and blue colour scheme. Clearly as I'm wearing this shirt here. But yeah, it does look nice. It's definitely better than the previous two. So I'm going to stick it, I think it's an A tier shirt, to be honest. If we got like a proper full quality picture of this, it could be amazing. But the picture quality does lower it down a little bit. But I suspect the yellow pops a bit more than we're seeing in this image. I think it's quite nice. And then we move on to the 77-81 shirt. Now this is very, very iconic. We had this shirt for a couple of years, as you could tell by the dates. It was one of the iconic shirts we won the European Cup. And now I try not to tie in events that happened in the seasons with that shirt, but I think it is worth a mention this was a European Cup winning shirt. That doesn't take away from the fact that it is a very basic shirt though. But Adidas have made some brilliant Forest shirts. We had some brilliant shirts from them in the past, and there is talk of us going back to Adidas soon. Personally, wouldn't mind it. They do make some very nice shirts, especially last season coming onto this season. This shirt is very basic, but it's also very nice. It's got a lot more going on than the previous yellow, the yellow shirt we had before the previous one. I think it was the 75-76 shirt. It's got a bit more details going on there. You know, you got the lines on the sleeves, the cuffs, the collar. I think it's very nice. I'm putting in B tier because it is just a bit plain for me. But it's not nicer than the other ones. Oh, this shirt here it's a thing of beauty. The 81-82 shirt, it takes the shirt we had previously, adds some pinstripes, and it just looks so much better. Yeah, it just looks so much better than the previous season's shirt. The pinstripes really do add up some marks on there. It is very similar to a shirt we have later on in this list as well. But yeah, it's the first S tier of the list. I really like this shirt. I'd love to get my hands on one. Then we move swiftly on to the 82-84 shirt, which is basically the same shirt with a sponsor. So that's also going in S tier. And then the same shirt again for 84-86, also going in S tier. Just a brilliant shirt. I'm not sure why one is sponsored and one isn't. It's just how Kit Archive has done it. So that's what we're going off. Then we switch back to white for 86-89, and it is this beauty. Umbro take over kit manufacturing, and it's just a thing of beauty. You know, Shipstones, very iconic Forest sponsor. Them and Labatt's, just synonymous with Forest in my opinion. And this long sleeve shirt is just a thing of beauty as well. Love the design they've got on the collar and the cuffs. It just looks brilliant. The sublimated design, I think is the word, of just like the chevrons on the actual shirt itself as well, look very nice. I'm sure they look great in person. This picture doesn't do it the best of service, but still looks brilliant. And yeah, it's just a really nice shirt. I'd definitely love to get my hands on one of these as well. It's A tier for sure. And then we move on to the 89-91 shirt. Now, at first glance, using this image doesn't look great, but there is a design within the shirt. and I think it's a lovely shirt. Not so much a fan of the grey on the collar. I'm not sure why they use grey instead of black, so it does drop it down a couple marks, but the black and red on the cuffs and then the red trim on the collar as well look lovely. They match with the Forest badge and the Umbro badge, and yeah, it's just a really nice looking shirt. If you can see the picture with the actual chevrons present, it looks brilliant, and that for me is an S tier shirt. Just a bit better than the previous seasons because I'm a collar merchant. Now while there isn't a collar on this shirt, I do love it. And then they go back-to-back bangers with the 91-93 shirt. Now this is very similar to the previous season's shirt in many ways. They got rid of the cuffs. They switched up the collar colours, which actually look quite nice. I think they're a bit faded on this picture, but they've got the Umbro diamond design throughout the shirt, which is a design I really like. And then they've got like a weird black design going on the sleeve. Only one of the sleeves, which does make it look a bit odd. But yeah, it's a very, very nice shirt. Another banger from Umbro. I'm going to mark it down because of that weird, like, asymmetrical design on the shirt. I do prefer if designs are fairly symmetrical. Like, it doesn't have to be an exact mirror, but if that design was also on the other sleeve, maybe it could be in a different position or different orientation. It still look much better than just having it on one sleeve, I feel. So yeah, A tier, but very solid shirt nonetheless. And then we move on to this banger. Now I'd love to own an authentic copy of one of these. I've got the modern remake we-released behind me as the only other away shirt I own. I'm more of a third shirt merchant. It is a bloody lovely Forest shirt. One of the best we've had. I revealed my hand very early there, but this is one of the best Forest shirts we've ever had. The Umbro tape design around the shoulders and down the sleeve. Just the colour, the collar, the Forest logo in the shield of the Umbro logo, the Labats. Oh my god, it is brilliant. This is one of our finest shirts, I think, and it graced the Premier League, which is also doing it a lot of justice. But yeah, it's just an amazing shirt with an amazing design. Like, you can see like I think the diamonds on there. But yeah, I just wish Umbro would release a modern release of this because it's a phenomenal kit and I'm a big, big fan. Easiest S tier of my life. It is amazing. And then we move on to this shirt. Now this is very polarizing because a lot of people love it, a lot of Forest fans love it, and it's a cult classic within the community, and you can see why, because you never see shirts designed like this anymore. But other people, they really don't like it, and I can also see why they wouldn't like it, because it is a very loud shirt with a very strange design. Not really a fan of the collar. I'm not sure why it's so stripy, but that doesn't really drop at any marks. It doesn't really take away from, if anything, it works with the design of the shirt. But yeah, it's just a very unique pattern that we've never seen on a Forest shirt since. And you know what? I actually love it. We've got the Forest badge in a shield again, which is something I really like. I know a lot of people probably aren't really a fan of putting your badge within a shield. I quite like it when teams do that, to be fair. It is very reminiscent of an Everton shirt from the same season. But yeah, it looks brilliant nonetheless. S tier as well, for sure. It's definitely grown on me since I've seen it. And they go 3 for 3 as this is the 97-99 away shirt, and it is another absolute banger from Umbro. This is a very, very good shirt, and this is one where the alternate sleeve design doesn't actually mark it down anything, because you've got one side of the shirt has the Umbro, the stripe going up here, then the other one's got an opposite sleeve, so it kind of works out. The collar's lovely. The central placement of the Umbro, the Forest, and the sponsor, amazing. Pinnacle does not really take away from the shirt. They could have made the Pinnacle colours the same colours as the line on the shirt, but it's okay. Phenomenal shirt. I really would love to own an authentic version of this. This list is just me saying which authentic versions I'd love to own, and this is definitely one of them. S tier yet again. Phenomenal from Forest. Then move on to the 99-2000 shirt, and this one, it's not that great. Realistically, it's not a very good shirt. Very weird collar from Umbro. I was never a fan of this sort of like white lines separating the different parts of the shirt. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. There's not much to say on this because I just don't like it. Like, it is an F tier shirt in my opinion. Yeah, it's just not great. The colour's nice, very reminiscent of that previous blue, purple, navy, whatever colour you want to call it shirt. This one it's just not as good. It's just not as good. And then move on to this thing. The 2000-2003 shirt, and again Umbro dropped the ball with this one as well. I don't know what's going on with the lines. I don't like the lines. I never understood Umbro's design philosophy with this shirt. It looks terrible. It's another F tier from Forest and from Umbro. I mean, Umbro provided with a lot of great shirts, but they dropped the ball on these two. Not a fan at all. And then move on to 2003-2005, and this shirt isn't actually that bad. Now, yes, it's a very plain shirt, but it's also very reminiscent of our first away shirt, and I do believe that was intentional. I haven't read any design documents pertaining to this shirt. I'm just going off of aesthetics, and yeah, it's very plain. The Capital One sponsor, well, a very iconic sponsor for Forest, and for me, could have been red, would look better in red, in my opinion. It's a D tier shirt. Yes, there's a bit more going on than our first away shirt, but it still doesn't look great. It's got a collar which is saving it, but it does look like a polo shirt, like the sort of polo top you'd wear to school. Yeah, it's not great. Then we go to the Norwich kit. Yes, yellow and green, a very interesting colour scheme from Forest. One we've never actually seen before, and we haven't seen since. Maybe that says that it wasn't well received, but I actually quite like it. The green sort of like arrows, I guess, on like this bit here. Very interesting design choice, but it doesn't look too bad, to be fair. A little bit of green on the cuff as well, and on the collar. I think if the sponsor was in green and a bit lower down, it would look much better. But as it is, it doesn't look like that bad of a shirt, to be honest. Like, it's not one I would sought after to buy, but if I saw one going, I might buy it. I think it's very forgettable for Forest. It's a colour scheme we haven't seen return. I wouldn't be opposed if it did return, but the design would have to make up for it. So yeah, the Norwich shirt, it's okay. It's a C tier shirt in my opinion. It's all right. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. You know, it's like the Marmite shirt, I guess. And then we move on to this thing, the 2007-2009 shirt. So the first thing I notice is the Umbro badge is very high up. I don't know why they decided to do that for a certain era of shirts, but they've just put the Umbro badge really high up, and it just doesn't look great. The Forest badge also being in black looks a bit off, although they do it all the time with the sponsor. They do look better in red. And there's also a red Umbro design on one of the sleeves as well. Very, very strange. Now, I'm a fan of whatever this thing is down here, like with the stripy red and white design. I think that's nice. Just the Forest badge and the Umbro badge being in black don't really look right on this shirt. I think they should be in red. And while I don't really hate the template Umbro have used, it's just the design choices they've made look a bit odd. It's another D tier shirt for me. It's not the best, I'll be honest. And then move on to the 2009-2010 shirt. Now, this is the first half and half shirt we've had, and I'm quite a big fan of it. It's got a subtle checkerboard design within the shirt, and yeah, it's really nice from Umbro. Dark blue, navy blue, purpley sort of colours. Yeah, it looks good. It's a colour scheme we've seen used a few times since this shirt, actually, to be fair. And while the red is a bit strange on the shirt, it doesn't detract from the shirt's ranking in any way. The Umbro badge takes a normal spot once again next to the Forest badge, which seems to be in a circle on this shirt, with sort of red designs on the armpits, on the sort of like hem, I guess, of the shirt, and then on the collar. Nottingham, is that the Nottingham City Council crest, or our old logo on the back of the collar? But I think it's a really nice looking shirt, to be honest. One I would like to own as well. Yeah, I think it's an A tier shirt personally. I know the red does look a bit off at some points, but I don't know, I quite like it in this shirt. I'm not sure what it is. It's something, I just like it. I just like this shirt. I think that's what it is. I also like that they've alternated the sleeve colours on each side of the shirt. So, you know, the lighter blue's got the dark blue, and then the dark blue's got the lighter blue. Very cool. Then move on to this shirt. Now, this is a very interesting one, as just looking at it, it doesn't look that bad, to be honest. It's red and white, very classic Forest colours. But yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of it, to be honest. I'm not sure what it is about the shirt. It does look a bit plain. But then you've got the red on the underside of the sleeves and down the side of the shirt, which, you know, it works with the design. They've got the line on the top as well. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of this shirt. I mean, the Forest logo and the Umbro logo are in the correct positions, which is nice. But yeah, it's kind of plain. I think it's a B tier shirt. Like, I don't hate it, but it's not what I'm going to seek out and buy, especially, if you know what I'm saying. Then move on to the 2011-2012 shirt. And this one is very strange. We see green make a reoccurrence for Forest. This time on the top of the shirt. It kind of reminds me of a goalkeeper shirt, I'm not going to lie. It's like dark green, black on the bottom with green on the top and a little button-up collar by the looks of things. Sort of looks like a Minecraft dirt block, I can't lie. It's not really great. There's nothing really for me to say about this shirt, as it's just meh. I get it's not really screaming out to me that this is an amazing shirt, but I don't dislike it either. I think it's just strange from Forest to use these two colours in an away shirt. I think it matched more of a third shirt. Very interesting from Forest. Not really one for me, though. Then move on to this light blue number, and despite being a very plain shirt, I'm a fan. This is the 2012-2013 shirt, and it's just blue and black. And you know what? simplistic, but it works very well and has a lovely collar. Now, maybe a very deep neckline on the shirt, but that can be hidden by, you know, doing the buttons up, I guess. But for once, the Forest logo in black and the Umbro logo in black work well with the black sponsor. I think it being on a different colour other than white with red surrounding it, the black actually works, and you can see it's got black in the sleeves as well. So yeah, I think it looks quite nice. It's definitely a shirt I am on the lookout for. Not going to pay exorbitant prices for it though. I just think it's a nice looking shirt. Still quite plain, I do recognise that, which is why it's not an S tier shirt, but for me it's definitely A tier because it does look very nice and I'm a fan of the colour blue. And then move on to this thing. Now this is a very interesting design. Fawaz refrigeration and air conditioning. What a terrible era that was for Forest. And yeah, this away shirt sort of symbolises that. It's from Adidas, which is one of their stinkers, I can't lie. Adidas dropped the ball with this shirt for sure. Yeah, it's very odd. Don't know why there's so many blocks of red on the shirt. It's an away shirt. I guess you can have home colours on there, but this just looks weird. I don't like the base colour either. It's like a dark bluish grey sort of colour. F tier. Awful. Stinker. Then we're on to this number. Now without the sponsor, this shirt, Chef's Kiss. And that is the image I've got here. So that is the image we're going to base it off of. And Adidas, they've redeemed themselves from the previous season's interesting design. It's a red and white pinstripe shirt. We hadn't seen a pinstripe shirt since the 80s, which is a surprise because it's quite a nice design. I know we've seen it on a few home shirts between then, but even though this is a palette swap version of the home shirt, it looks lovely. I'm a big fan. I don't know why the Adidas lines don't go all the way down the shirt. It doesn't defeat the look of the shirt, doesn't mark it down any points for me. It's a very nice, very simple shirt, but it looks very clean. And like the rest of the pinstripes, it's on S tier. Love it. And then we revert back to blue and yellow for our 150th anniversary shirt. And it uses the same template as the 150th anniversary, just swaps the colours around. And yeah, it's alright. It's not great. It's not, there's nothing going on there. Out of the 350th season shirts, the home shirt is definitely the one I want to get my hands on, followed by the third shirt. This one, I could leave it or take it. It looks okay. Nothing special to write home about. The home shirt was definitely better. I feel like they could have done something more for our 150th anniversary. That's what I'm really trying to get at. It's D tier. It's not terrible. It's not awful like the shirts in F tier, but it's not great either. Then move on to this, the 2016-2017 shirt. Another one from Adidas, and a very weak shirt from them in my opinion. Now the 888 Sports sponsor is terrible. It definitely detracts from the design of the shirt, but for some reason there's a red band across the bottom with a white stripe. I don't know. I guess it was to add some form of design to the shirt, but it doesn't look great. If anything, I think the red should have continued all the way to the bottom. Maybe the white stripe on the top. But yeah, it just looks weird. I'm not really a fan of it. It's not like the Fawaz level of shirt. It's not that bad, but it's not great. It's not great at all. Then move on to this, the 2017-18 away shirt. And wow, the colour is nice. It's the purple, very reminiscent of some of our older away shirts. The 888 Sports sponsor ruins it once again. Why is it so big? There's no reason for it to be so big. And it's a very plain shirt as well. They didn't really do anything with this shirt. So it gets relegated to F tier for just being a bit shit and a bit boring. That's really all I can say. If it is your favourite shirt, I do apologise, but for me, this is just a very boring shirt. Then move on to our first Macron away shirt, the 2018-2019 season, and it is bad. It's using the old Macron logo, which looks terrible, and the Bet Bright sponsor just looks really out of place. I'm not a fan. It does have that loving feeling on the inside of the collar, which is a nice touch, but yeah, another F tier. Macron got off to a terrible start with this away shirt, but they redeemed themselves with the 2019-20 away shirt. As we see this number, we got the new Macron logo. It's another half and half shirt, which is actually half and half. Take notes, Pompey. The Forest badge does look a little too big. Yeah, it's okay. It's just a little nitpick. And the Football Index sponsor, while not great, is better than some of the companies we've had previously. Although this company did go bust, and a lot of people lost a lot of money, so that is not great, and I will always associate Football Index with Forest, unfortunately. But the overall design of the shirt is decent. It's just a half and half shirt, really. You can't exactly mess that up. Nothing to write home about, though. It is firmly in C tier. And then move on to the 2020-21 away shirt, and this one is one I'm actually quite a fan of. Now, the lines on the shirt represent the flow of the River Trent, and yeah, I think it's a nice design from Macron. The colours are lovely. I'm a big fan of the main blue with yellow highlights. I think it's a very interesting take on what our classic away colour scheme is. And yeah, I feel like they could have done the cuffs yellow, but then again, the collar is blue, so I can understand why they've gone for blue cuffs. And yeah, I'm a big fan of the wavy design. Again, the Football Index sponsor does ruin it somewhat, but it's a very nice design, very unique design. Yes, it's not bad. It's actually quite a nice looking shirt. Not one I'm actively seeking out, but if I find one for a good price, I will pick one up. It's in A tier. I think it's quite a nice away shirt. And then we move on to the penultimate away shirt, the 21-22 shirt. I've got mixed feelings about this one, because it is a nice shirt. I just want to put it out there. Nice shirt. I do like the red badge and the red manufacturer logo along with the red collar. I think boxed could have been in red. It would look better if it was in red. And I wish the pink design had continued onto the sleeve and around the back of the shirt. I know it doesn't. I know that's what shirt manufacturers do a lot of the time. It's just a front design, which fair enough. But it is disappointing. We didn't get many good results in this shirt either. But I'm trying to just base it on the design of the shirt. Yeah, it's okay. It definitely grew on me throughout the season. The pink flash looks very interesting, but yeah, it was an alright shirt. It's not great, not terrible. I'm not sad that I don't own one. It was my least favourite for the 3 of that season anyway. So yeah, it's B tier. It's better than these shirts, but not by much. And then move on to the one I'm currently wearing in our current season's away shirt, the 22-23 one. Now this is the sponsored version that you can see here. I don't have the sponsored version, and personally I'm not going to get the sponsor on it, but the sponsor is a nice sponsor. It's for charity. That's always nice. And it doesn't really look too out of place on the shirt anyway. The badge and the manufacturer logo are in blue as well as the cuffs and the collar, with that Trent Bridge design on the sleeves and on this little bit on the collar here. I'm not sure what you'd call this. Also on the sides. Huge fan of this shirt. It looks far better than the home shirt in my opinion. The Trent Bridge design really pops on the yellow background, and it being in blue looks lovely. Does evoke feelings of Brazil when you see this shirt, especially with our Brazilian core of players running around in it. But yeah, this is just a lovely looking shirt. It was a very good choice to have the Trent Bridge design really popping out on the sleeves. That is something I wish the home shirt did. Unfortunately it doesn't, but we get to see it in all its glory here. It just looks phenomenal. I think it's our best shirt of the season, not gonna lie. The third shirt is very cool, but this one is just far better. And for that reason, it's an S tier. Absolutely phenomenal shirt. Macron smashed out of the park with this one. I'm a big fan. So yeah, those have been my ranking of the Nottingham Forest away shirts. There may be some I've missed, but they weren't on Kit Archive, so I didn't grab them. So yeah, I do apologise if I missed your favourite shirt somehow, if it's from like the 50s or something, but I highly doubt it. Anyway, I've been O2GT. Please tell me your favourite away shirt in the comments below. And if you did want to do your own ranking of these away shirts, I shall leave a link in the description below. Should I do a third shirt ranking? Please let me know. I know there aren't many, but I'm a third shirt merchant. If you want me to do one, if the demand is there, I shall do one. But yeah, I hope you have a very nice rest of your day. Sorry this took so long to make. Peace.